Hey folks, it's Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building with another SPS Monday Motivation. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I was in Detroit, North Farmington High School to be exact. In Farmington, that is, I should say, to be specific. You know, people be a certain way about where you were and whatnot. But I had a great time with the Horatio Williams Foundation. 2 days of great high school basketball. It was very enjoyable. Happy to be there, and there's going to be some great interviews to come. I got a chance to hang out with some folks and be part of the great culture of amateur basketball in the state of Michigan. So with that being said, we have a new Monday Motivation. What is that? It is flowers are for the living. Flowers are for the living. Where did this come from? I always tell you that my Monday motivations are either pulled from the headlines or my personal life, and this is an intersection of both. I told you guys a few weeks ago about the passing of Ernest L. McCoy. His photo now is over my left shoulder, and he's always looking over me like my brother and my grandmother. But also Charles Gilchrist Adams, pastor of Hartford Memorial Baptist Church, the church I grew up in as a child, was baptized by him in November of 1991. I'll never forget that, and just always being in awe of Dr. Adams. He's an internationally recognized man, made more headlines at the passing of Rosa Parks when he gave one of his all-time great speeches when he talks about how he would praise God in different languages and even could do it if he was deaf. It kind of put the world on notice in some cases, but I was so impacted by the death of my godfather that hearing Pastor Adams pass a few weeks later kind of had me so numb that I didn't even make any public comment about it. You know, I saw things online and whatnot, but it definitely made me think about the power of giving flowers to people, and flowers are for the living. Found an interesting article in Medium, and the title was "The Power There Is in Expression and Why You Should Give Your People Their Flowers While They Still Can Smell Them" by Mel Gibson. Thought it was very interesting, the things they talked about, and I think it's important that if you appreciate someone, give them their flowers while they can still smell them. The flowers are for the living. Now, Pastor Adams, who is world renowned, is a public figure, no question about that. Public figure before social media and all those type of things. So these type of individuals have the opportunity to get their flowers nationally and publicly and throughout the media. But also the people that you know that may not have a name. People are part of your family group, your friend group, I should say, and all that. It's so important because when people pass on, we get so devastated, and we have all of this on our heart. But, you know, it seems in this world we're losing the ability to be able to just give somebody a simple compliment. Somebody you may have a relationship with, someone who's part of your friend group. Perfect example of me being in the sports community and seeing all these individuals, male and females that I know, and it's not to give a compliment to try to, you know, get something out of them or to make somebody think, okay, what is he trying to get from me? But to be genuine and say, man, hey, I appreciate seeing you. Hey, I love what you do in this regard, because I'm telling you the feeling I have when people share that with me. I've had people sit down and give their genuine thoughts about me and the work that I may be doing, or just me as an individual, and I appreciate that. My mother says eulogy of Sean was inspiring. Thank God for him. That's right. He gave the eulogy for my brother that passed, and that was very inspiring and powerful. And that's a mother talking about the last words that were said about her son. And giving flowers to people is not that hard, and I think it's something that we need to put a little bit more attention to. In the diary of Anne Frank, it was written, "Dead people receive more flowers than the living ones because regret is stronger than gratitude." Dead people receive more flowers than the living ones because regret is stronger than gratitude. Yeah, you don't want to have that regret, so you'll give them all their flowers once they pass. Once they're gone and you got that on your heart, it'll all come out. But relieve yourself of that. Share your thoughts and feelings with people. This is the season. We're still in Thanksgiving season. We're still in Christmas season, the season of giving. And it's important that we kind of get away from these material things that we get so caught up on in. And social media continues to play a role in that. Social media can exacerbate these feelings that we have and also give us these unrealistic values to be looking forward to. You know, as a side note, I saw a study, and I'll post that probably next week, just as a reminder that a genuine study that was done. It was done for millennials, and I'm not just putting this on millennials, but they said, how much would you need to be happy? How much money would you need? And the amount is striking. Some people will say, oh, they probably said 100,000. It was 525,000 was the amount that was stated by millennials in aggregate in this study. So what we're finding is people are finding more need and value in what money can buy them instead of the fulfillment you can get from having a relationship with somebody, from somebody saying something positive about you and being able to share. Keep that in mind. What is the meaning of give them their flowers? We should express our love, gratitude, and appreciation so those we care about while we still live, while we're still alive. And some of us have small family units. Currently, it's my mother and I and my daughter. That's a relatively small family unit. But I'm saying, in many cases, our extended family are our friends, people that we rock out with a lot. That's something we want to keep in mind. The article goes on to say, truth be told, we often in our lives have so much to say about people who have impacted or affected our lives in many ways, but we never do. What is that? I don't want to be talking to them like that. I ain't about to tell them all that. Or here's a good one. They know how I feel. Well, I got a response to that one. Another statement that was mentioned in the article that was worth mentioning. Don't assume people know. Tell them they inspire you. Tell them you love them. Tell them they appreciate it. Show up for their shows. Send them notes of love. Remind them of their worth and their value. Take canvas of them. Show them how much they matter in your life. Now, it may be difficult for some of us to come off of this. It may be difficult for some of us to share these things because we're at a place right now where we're not fulfilled. But I would argue that it can be karmatic. It can be a chain reaction. It can unlock something. And not that you're giving a compliment for the sake of receiving one back, but things you put out in the universe you get in return. Or if you receive the benefit or the blessing of someone saying something very positive and sharing something with you, do that in return. Put that back out there. Give them their flowers because flowers are for the living. Flowers are for the living. The big question the article goes on to state is, why is there a tendency to hold back or postpone these conversations that are not only important to us, but to them as well? Don't try to say, well, I'm going to wait for the right moment. You know what life is like. There's never a right moment. The right moment is the moment that you have breath in your body, that you can do something. The right moment is right now. Because we do not know what tomorrow may bring for you or for the other person. Whether it's sending a text, like, dang, this is kind of random. You see them like, hey, man, I just want to tell you, man, I appreciate you, man. Hey, I just want to tell you, man, that stuff you've been doing impacts me like that. And just use that as a way to say, hey, it's not about me getting something back from them, but giving them their flowers. Also, give roses to the living while they can still collect them. It won't be long, man. People can't get it all the time. We see things that happen and more. This time on earth is not promised. My brother Roger Wilson says, good morning, big brother. Happy Founders Day and salute to you. Thank you for sharing that. I want to say happy Founders Day to the brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, my beloved fraternity. You can look over my shoulder right here. You see, I got that on my cross tonight. Back in 1995. Shout out to my purse, Aaron, whatever or not, but congratulations to the brothers and happy Founders Day on this day. And I'll give you your flowers, Rod. I always appreciate you for being a huge supporter of my platform and what's going on. Always got something positive to say. Always a level head I can call to say, man, what you think about this? Despite that, you're going to always give an unbiased opinion. So here's a perfect opportunity for me to give roses to someone. Mr. Roderick Wilson, good brother, great husband, great dad. And people are lucky to have people like him in their life. As wild as we can be out here in this world, this is a good, solid brother, man. Good, solid brother who go tell you about yourself. You go say, not Lindsay. Let me just say, good brother right here. But here's a perfect opportunity, man, and we don't do it enough. And I work on that myself to be a living example of the flowers are for the living. Give it to him. Rob may have needed that encouragement. He may have needed to be reminded of how much a good man he is. He may need to be reminded about how much a good father he is, and good husband he is, and how respected that he is. That's important. And what did that cost me? Nothing at all. Brother says, feeling is mutual, bro. Appreciate you. I know you do. Roger. And that was just long overdue and worth that. And again, we always may say, well, they know already. Well, tell them again. They may need to hear it again. And what did it cost me to just give accolades to this brother right here, to my mother? I'll get emotional and talk about how much I love my mother. And we have a thing in our household where we scream, I love you, across the room. We've been doing that for years. My daughter even knows I can be out in the living room doing some work or something like that. And she can be in her room watching TV. And I scream, I love you. She just screaming back. She don't come to the door and say, Daddy, what's he talking about? It's important. That's what we have. Because at the end of the day, it ain't going to be $525,000 for everybody. It ain't going to be that. It's going to be the love that you have in your heart that you can share with somebody. So with that, folks, I won't keep you on this Monday. I want to get out here and get things going. I want to wish you guys the absolute best for a great day getting into these holiday seasons. Don't get caught up in the hype. It's called caught up in the love. That's what's good. Don't get caught up in the hype. Get caught up in the love. With that, I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate everything. Peace.